Well, what's good, everybody? Welcome back to the Hotbox. We're hitting all this box office news, predictions, results, and pretty much everything else. I'm Kay, and normally we get into like the top 5 box office from this past weekend and stuff like that, but you know what? Fuck that shit, because something big happened this weekend. Avengers Endgame finally dethroned Avatar as the #1 movie of all time. Not counting inflation, of course. But yeah, finally, Avengers Endgame, the #1 movie in here. I can just fucking dance. Endgame finally crossed Avatar. It's now at 2.790, I think, billion dollars at the box office, which is the Avatar was 2.88. So it's been a nice couple of years for Avatar. I thought that record probably would never be broken at first, because even people going into Endgame didn't think Endgame would get this close to the record. Last year Infinity War didn't even come close to breaking the record. So why would we expect Endgame to do it after all? But then that masterpiece took place on screen, and I completely got why it broke the record. After get that $350 million worldwide thing, domestic opening thing, I kind of knew that this movie might be something special and could have the potential to break the Avatar record. And turns out I was right about that one. So that's the biggest hit that came out of this past weekend's box office for sure. But there was a lot of other things that happened this weekend's box office too. We had Lion King finally debut and kind of overperformed from what everybody thought it was going to do. Everybody thought the movie itself was kind of dull, but as it turns out, people don't care about what critics have to say, and they went to go see that joint out anyways. But you know what, before we get into Lion King specifically, let's just go ahead and just hop into the top 5 from this past weekend's U.S. domestic totals, presented by Box Office Mojo. So coming into the number 5 joint, we got yesterday bringing in another $5.1 million at the box office, only falling a small percentage too, 24% this weekend, which has been pretty consistent for what it's been doing. And also in his 4th weekend, managed to make $98 million total worldwide, which is a lot more money than what I thought it was gonna do. By the end of its runtime, it'll be a $100 million movie, which I'm pretty sure the studio behind this didn't even think that was gonna be a possibility. So in the number 4 spot, and falling about like 50%, which is kind of be expected, we got Crawl making another $6 million at the box office, which is still a pretty good showing for this movie, I think, because this movie had like a pretty small budget and it didn't get like a huge marketing push, but I see word of mouth for it has been pretty good over the course of these last 2 weeks, because I thought it was gonna fall a lot more than that, because okay, everybody who saw it last week, but I guess people went out and said, hey, Crawl wasn't that bad, so go out to go see it. So in the number 3 spot, I believe we at now, 3 spot, we have Toy Story 4 coming in, bringing in another $14.6 million, and another pretty impressive drop, but only dropping 30%, which I thought was going to drop a lot more this weekend too, because Lion King is kind of like the same thing as Toy Story in terms of this audience. So I figured everybody's seen Toy Story already, so nobody would be trying to go see it again this weekend, because the monster of Disney has released another yet smash hit, which we're going to get into a little bit later. But I still see people want to go see Toy Story after all. I think now its domestic total is like around 860, something like that, somewhere around there, getting pretty close to the $1 billion mark, which I'm personally thinking is not going to make the $1 billion mark, but if it keeps this up for the next couple of weeks, I think it has a chance. So the number 2 joint coming into the box office this weekend was, of course, Spider-Man Far From Home, bringing in yet another $21 million from Marvel. And then I think now it's worldwide total like to 970 now, so it's almost at the $1 billion mark too. So dang, Disney about to have about $3 billion movies in theaters, right? Well, 4, because Endgame still is in theater. So $4 billion type movies in the box office right now. Maybe even 5, because Aladdin is getting even closer than I thought it was gonna get. I still don't think it's gonna get that $1 billion mark, but hey, it could be a possibility soon. The number 1 spot, of course, obviously everybody I think in the history of box office predictions probably guessed this was gonna be the #1 movie. Lion King came in making a lot more than a lot of people expected though. I think projections were saying like 140 to 175, and the 175 part I thought was a little bit too excessive, so I was like, nah, maybe 140, yeah, I can see that, because critics weren't really feeling Lion King that much. But yeah, like I said, they proved everybody wrong, and they made $185 million in this opening weekend, which is bonkers compared to what I thought it was gonna be. It's worldwide total, which is, I think it opened the week before, like in foreign markets and stuff like that. But yes, worldwide total is at $531 million. So yeah, like I said, this is gonna be another movie that's gonna hit the $1 billion mark easily, I believe, because in like 2 or 3 weeks, yeah, this is gonna be a $1 billion movie. Like yeah, I saw it in my review a couple of weeks ago, and I wasn't too impressed with The Lion King, but it isn't a terrible movie, and I've seen why people would want to go see it. So yeah, of course, Lion King took the #1 spot pretty easily, which is what I thought. But like I also thought too, Avengers Endgame did break the record, and now we have the new king at the box office, which I don't think will be broken for quite some time. Because like honestly, I don't see any movies coming out in like the near future that's gonna draw like this big of an audience, this big of a crowd to go see it. I mean, maybe some Christopher Nolan thing might be big, but it's not gonna be this big. Nothing will probably be this big for a good little while. Maybe until Marvel does it again with like some in-game level type stuff again. Or I don't know, maybe DC might get their shit together and actually do a good Justice League movie. And that might break that record. Why am I kidding myself? But hey, this is the hot thoughts that I got from this past weekend's box office results. Maybe you saw something differently. Let me know by sparking up in the comment section below. And if you're new to the channel, be sure to hit that like button, but also hit that subscribe button and be a part of Blade's crew, where you stay getting super stoned off of everything movie related. I'm Kay, and before you go to that movie, make sure you hotbox and blaze it.